Dunedin's Southern Showdown contestants are in the final stages of preparation for the September competition. The 18 men and women will slug it out in the boxing ring in front of a large audience to raise money for charity. Organiser Doug Kamo joins us to talk about the event. Good evening, Doug.
Good evening.
How hard are the contestants training at the moment?
We've got 4 compulsory training sessions a night at the moment, but the majority of them are probably doing another 3 or 4 on top of that in their own time. So they're training pretty hard. We're only 4.5 weeks out, so they've got to.
What do the final weeks involve training-wise?
Yeah, okay, so they've been through a boot camp already of 6 weeks, and we selected from that. We selected our 18 from that, and they then go through another 8 weeks of training. So the last few weeks, we start to shift the focus more onto the sparring side of things, and a lot more into the mental preparation. As you can imagine, there's a lot that goes on up inside the head for them to get ready for it.
How are they shaping up as fighters?
Oh, there's a few injuries that they're carrying out there, which is to be expected. But we've got to remember that these guys and girls have never ever boxed before, and they are everyday people from our community that have got businesses of their own that need to hold down a day job. So they've gone through some really rigorous training in terms of technique, and they're looking great. I think this year would be arguably our biggest clashes in terms of our contenders this year, and we've got lots of heavyweights in there, which our audiences love to see those guys get in the ring and have a go. So you look, they're shaping up really well. There are a few injuries that we're trying to manage, but they're fine. Yeah.
Now tell us about the Southern Showdown and how the event started.
Well, the charity boxing events is nothing new within New Zealand. There's about 30 events that are held throughout the country currently at the moment, and so we also operate the Thriller and the Chiller, which is the Queenstown equivalent of Southern Showdown. And so we saw that there was a bit of a gap here in Dunedin. We decided 2 years ago to bring it through to Dunedin. So we're now into our 3rd year, and we get between 1,200 to 1,500 people that come to support not only the contenders but the charities as well. So it's been a very popular event.
How much money have you raised for charity so far?
Well, so far in the last 2 years we've raised over 66,000 for both the Malcolm Trust and the Otago Community Hospice. So this year we're looking to obviously beat those 2 targets, and we've restructured the way that we're looking at gifting to the charities as well this year, which is exciting.
Yes, tell us about that.
Well, in the last 2 years we've had a flagship charity which has been fantastic, but what we've done this year is we've allowed the contenders to select the charities that they want to fight for. So we now have 16 charities that are aligned to the event, and each of those contenders can raise funds on their behalf by stepping to the ring and asking for donations from friends, colleagues and supporters.
Why corporate boxing?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a funny thing, isn't it? It's really captured the minds of a lot of people, and I think it's I guess those that are in the high end of the corporate market and that have become very successful are looking for that little challenge that just sort of pushes them over the edge and pushes them outside their comfort zone. I think that's the big attraction for a lot of these men and women is that they are successful at what they do and they want that little bit of extra challenge, and this is it for them.
Tell us about some of the contestants.
All right. Well, we've got our main event this year, which is Paul Miller, ex-All Black, and then he's going up against a well-known stalwart of rugby here in Dunedin, Peter Murrelly. So that's our big clash this year, and there's a lot of people out there that seem to be very interested in watching those two jump into the ring. So that's very exciting. Equally, we've got Sarah Ramsey, who's very well known in terms of marketing circles, both here in Dunedin and nationally, and also Eleanor Moore, who is one of financial advisor here. So those two of our females that will go toe to toe as well. But like I said, we've got 4 bouts of heavyweights. One of those are females, and so at the end of the night, the big cards at the end of the night will be quite spectacular fights, I think. Yeah.
Should be a good one then. Southern Showdown organiser Doug Kamo, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.